and girls. Mrs. Clayton and Pete the cat here. We have our very last fairy tale, Little Red Riding Hood. And Pete was telling me, he said, Mrs. Clayton, you keep on picking scary books. Last week we had, what did we have, Pete? He said we had a troll. And this week, what do we have? A big bad wolf, just like in the Three Little Pigs. But you know what? I bet you we'll learn something from this story. Okay, let's read it, boys and girls. It's gonna be really important that you're paying really good attention today, because later on this week, after you make your puppets, you're gonna have to retell me the story. You're gonna have to remember what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end, plus the characters and where it happened. Okay, so paying attention. Little Red Riding Hood. Look at the pictures in the first page. Once there was a little girl who loved to wear red. She had red shirts and red skirts, red shoes, and fabulous bright red cloak. Her name was Little Red Riding Hood. Do you see all of her red stuff in her room? I bet you guys have a favorite color too. Early one morning, Little Red's mother packed up a basket. I have a very special job for you, she told Little Red. Granny is feeling poorly. Will you take her this fresh fruit? Of course, cried Little Red, and she put on her favorite cloak and kissed her mother goodbye. It was a bright sunny day, and Little Red skipped through the woods. Good morning, she called to the rabbits and the deer. I'm bringing Granny a special surprise. But someone was peeping behind a tree. Do you see who's peeping behind a tree? It looks like this story is taking place in the forest. A big, hungry wolf. Good day, growled the wolf. What are you doing in the woods all alone? I'm taking this special basket of fruit to Granny, Little Red replied. Yuck, thought the wolf. He didn't like fruit. He liked tasty little girls. So the wolf thought up a plan, a horrible, clever plan. Why not pick Granny some lovely flowers, he said. Do you think she should probably stop on the way to Granny's, or do you think her mom probably wanted her to go straight there? We'll have to see. The wolf knocked on Granny's door with a thud, thud, thud. Is that you, Little Red, my dear? Called Granny. Yes, squealed the wolf. Let me in. It's breakfast time. Oh, goody, said Granny, opening the door. What are you having for breakfast? You, cried the wolf. Arg, cried the Granny. You're not Little Red. And she slammed the door right on his big furry nose. Ow, howled the wolf. Quick as a flash, Granny ran out the back door and into the woods to find some help. Horrid old Granny, the wolf growled, rubbing his nose. But now he could put his terrible plan into action. So when Little Red knocked tap, tap, tap on Granny's door, it was a deep, scratchy voice that answered, Come in, my dear. Was that Granny's voice? It was the wolf's. Little Red walked into Granny's bedroom and stopped in surprise. Oh, Granny, she said slowly. What big ears you have. The better to hear you with, my dear, croaked the wolf. And Granny, Little Red said carefully, what big hairy arms you have. The better to hug you with, my dear, growled the wolf. But Granny, Little Red whispered, what big teeth you have. The better to eat you with, my dear, snarled the wolf, and he pounced at Little Red. Just at that moment, the door burst open, and in rushed Granny and the woodcutter. Stop right there, yelled Granny. Put her down, bellowed the woodcutter, or I'll chop you up and turn you into a birdhouse. With a terrific howl, the wolf jumped out of the window and ran far, far away, never to return. Little Red hugged Granny tight. I'm so glad you chased that wolf away, she said, and she gave Granny the basket of fruit. What a day of excitement, laughed Granny. Now let's all have breakfast. I like how they're giving the woodcutter some breakfast for helping them. The end, boys and girls. Okay, So after you do your puppets, if you need to listen to Mrs. Clayton read the story again, you can, right before you do your assignment of retelling the story. Make sure you think of all those things, the characters, the setting, and what happens in the story in the right sequence. What happened first, what happened in the middle, and what happened at the end. I can't wait to see them. Bye, boys and girls.